Oh my goodness, it is right over here, the Lotus Eletre. Well, I don't even know how it's supposed to be pronounced. Is it Eletre in the French tone, or is it supposed to be Eletre? I'm not entirely sure. But what I do know is that Geely is officially going places. Each and every year they have some interesting things that are popping out. Last year it was the Volvo EX90. It went viral all over on Instagram. This is how popular the EX90 was, how famous it was. And then the Polestar brand. The Polestar brand is going places. They're supposed to be like a Swedish version of Tesla basically. Now right over here we have the Lotus Eletre. Initially, I was suspicious that it shares the same platform as the Volvo EX90 and the Polestar 3, but actually it has no connections whatsoever with these cars, but they do share some components, they do share some parts, and that's mostly seen at the interior, but we're going to cover the interior later. First, I want to talk about the exterior. I saw a number of Lotus Eletres on the road, and I have to say that from certain angles, it looks gorgeous. In fact, it's starting to give me Porsche Taycan vibes, and I'm not entirely sure if this is something to be proud of or if this is something to question, because it's when it comes to the Geely group, they do some really interesting cars, but then I'm also under the belief they get easily inspired by what some other car manufacturers have come up with. So like when looking at the Lotus Eletre, it gives a bit of a cross-country vibe, but make no mistakes, this is not hard plastic. This is carbon fiber. How amazing and is that? How sporty is that? And with the red paintwork, it looks gorgeous. In fact, it should be noted there's a two-tone paint going on. So the roof is in black and the bodywork is in red here. And this particular Lotus Eletre costs 184,000 euros, and the electric motor produces more than 900 horsepower. In fact, we're going to talk about it precisely later on. Now, whoever designed the Lotus Eletre did a brilliant job with executing the design and the aerodynamics. The air vents are massive. These are not just any ordinary air vents. These are air vents which are quite huge. And make no mistakes, this entire bumper right here is carbon fiber. Now, advantage, it is lightweight and it looks good. But there is a little problem. You have to be very careful with this, because apparently this car is equipped with a trailer hitch hook. This is cool, but realistically speaking, would you really want to tow a vehicle? Because let me show you something right now. Check this out. You get a retractable spoiler over here, but now we're going to talk about the boot space, where things get very interesting. Before we talk about the trailer hitch hook down there, I want to talk about some interesting features you get. So just like a Range Rover, you can adjust the rear suspension. Oh wow, okay, it's going very down now, which makes it very easy to put your luggages in and out. Just look at this. Oh wow, okay, this is at the lowest setting possible. Let's see what happens if we increase it. So let's go upwards. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, this sounds like a coffee machine. Yeah. Why does it sound like a coffee machine? Now, when it comes to practicality, don't keep your hopes too high, because you just get tether points on the side, but under this, there's nothing really happening. It's just your safety kit. Otherwise, you get a 12-volt socket right over there, which is nicely organized. This is so cool. But let's take a look at the trailer hitch hook right now, and that's where the problem lies. There we go. So the thing is, there is a bit of a problem, because I feel like it's too close to my precious carbon fiber, and realistically speaking, I wouldn't want to be using this to be towing something heavy. You can if you want to. After all, you're talking about more than 900 horsepower here. 22-inch 10-spoke wheels with black calipers and sport brakes on all four wheels. This is great. And look at this carbon fiber detail right here. Now, this and what you see on the roof over there, apparently, this is all part of the LiDAR system. Initially, I tried to say it with a Swedish accent because I thought this was actually a Volvo thing, quite literally. In fact, I never heard of the LiDAR system before that, but now I know what it is. It's basically supposed to be for safety. If you've seen the Volvo EX90, they have a prominent LiDAR thing there, and it's a bit cringy because it looks like a taxi, whereas I'm actually glad they didn't have some prominent thing going up there for the gorgeous Eletre. Now, just like a Tesla and most EVs of today, you get pop-out door handles. And the doors are soft close as well. and frameless windows, just like what you'd expect on a coupe. Now, precisely when it comes to the electric motor, we are looking at 918 horsepower. This is awesome. You can imagine the acceleration of this car. Now, this is not the electric motor, obviously. This is just additional storage space. Yeah. Similar concept, though, to what I've seen in Polestar and Volvo EX90. Right, now it is time to have a look at the interior of the Lotus Eletre. You see, to this moment, I actually don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. Is it supposed to be said with a French accent, or I don't know. Anyways, so I get electric steering adjustment for the driver's seat, and it has a cold metallic touch, similar to what I've seen in Bentley and Rolls-Royce, and maybe Aston Martin also has this. I'm not sure, but I know Bentley likes to have those metallic touches, and that's good finishing right there. Now, the door handle is suspiciously similar to Volvo. I think it's similar to Volvo, because it's just a little pocket, really, and I get seating memory as well. That's good. Now, for the driving palettes, you can choose driving mode as well. So when you choose between tour, range, and off-road, this will adjust the suspension, and this is why I will continuously hearing that coffee machine sound, which is starting to make me cringe a little bit, because when you hear a Range Rover do it, it's just a I don't know, something like that. It sounds like a truck. Okay, maybe that's even worse. Anyways, back to topic. So they've went down the route of a bit of something between simplicity and at the same time something between innovative. I don't know if what I said just made any sense, but I'll try to explain what I meant. So cup holders over here, you just have to push this down and you get your cup holder. This is cool concept, right? And when you're not using them, push this button and they come back up. This is cool, but there's a little problem. They went a bit too far with the Alcantara everywhere, even on the steering wheel, that if it's a very hot day and you happen to have sweaty hands, make sure you wipe your hands, because in long terms, you're probably going to leave some wears somewhere. So just be careful about that. And also just be careful about not spilling your drink, because I wouldn't want any drink being spilled on my precious Alcantara. So big screen to control just about everything, including climate control. Concept which I'm not a fan of, but again, the Geely Group are not alone in this. The Volkswagen Group have kind of been indulging in this, and Stellantis at one point obsessed over it until they started giving a bit of climate control underneath, which is good. I get some basic controls down there, and there's a button right here to open the glove box, just like what I've seen in the Volvo EX90. What's very interesting is that there's this ambient lighting right there. It's continuous, and I'm not sure why it's red. Is it supposed to mean the car is not? Or maybe it's just red by default. I'm not sure. But I get this instrument cluster, which is just a little simple line. So similar to what I've seen in Polestar and Volvo EX90. Am I a fan of this concept? No. I'm just going to straight away say this. No, I prefer to have a big instrument cluster like what I've seen in Audi, BMW, and Mercedes. Although Mercedes is starting to scare me with the big, massive screen right here. Oh my goodness. So when it comes to the steering wheel of this Lotus, let's see. So it is electrically adjustable, but here's the funny part. The electric steering adjustment has this metallic touch, right? As soon as you touch the electric adjustment for the steering wheel, you feel this plasticky material right over here. Oh my goodness. It's not a big deal, but I'm just going to be honest. I wish it were a bit more interesting, because it feels a bit budget. But otherwise, the steering wheel is nice to hold on to. It has a grip thanks to the Alcantara touch. Window buttons are right up there, but then again, they're located in such a way that it's a bit like, because when I want to lean my arms, I feel like my arms will be leaning too much onto this handle right here. There's just too much elevation right there, I feel. I think it would be nicer if there was less elevation. Like here, see? My arms, they lean here, nice and good. But when I lean my arm there, it just doesn't feel like the same thing. It's something a bit conflicting, I see. Side view mirrors, well, there is no side view mirrors. You just get side view cameras, which are just as effective and just as good, which is good. But here's the funny part. To adjust this camera, the button is buried between the panel right there. Like you see, it's a bit weird to use. It's something I have to get used to. That's the thing about the design at this area. Something feels a bit afterthought-ish. Now the seat belt is red, just like how a sports car should be, which is good. This is great. Now it's time to have a look at the infotainment system together. But before we do so, let's look at the practicality. Central console storage, which is deep. Wow, that's good. Thank God there's no storage space underneath this whole thing here, because I hate that concept. I said it right. I hate it. I prefer when there's a fixed central console, and this is exactly what I'm a fan of. And this is bulletproof. Nothing budges. I like that. But unfortunately, nobody gets a sunglasses holder. And for this particular Lotus Eletre, there's no sunroof or panoramic roof. Now, whether this is something to debate on, you all be the judge. Me personally, for a price of 184,000 euros, already it's quite generous. You get 900 horsepower, but a sunroof would be nice on a sunny day. Anyways, so what is this? Oh, okay, this is to control the climate control. This is great. And it turns blue each time I diminish it. Oh, this is so cute. Oh my gosh. Over here, the infotainment system of the Lotus Eletre. Now, whenever one door opens, this door will open. So let's say I open the driver's door right now. See? And it's going to close it right now for me as well. So this is good. This is good. Let's see the 360-degree parking camera. This is great. Now, I'm curious to know what the mapping is like, the navigation. Oh, it seems to be on some different system. Oh my goodness. See, for a second, there's just a little problem. I went there. When the entire page was white, I could not see the controls down there, you see? And this left me stuck. I can't even see something that's in the corner up there because the page is white. So it would be interesting if there was a black tab over here or something in a darker tone so that I can see the controls easily and use it, because right now I'm blind. I cannot see what am I pressing. So I have to guess. If I press this, there we go, menu. I only remembered the menu was there, that's why, but otherwise it's, you know, something's a bit of an afterthought, I feel. So you can choose between driving mode here even. That's good. This is great. Let's go back to the menu. Let's see. So I want to see the mapping, because mapping is always my favorite feature, but it seems like I can't. Because the thing is, BMW, Mercedes, and the Volkswagen Group, they have a more straightforward system, something easy to navigate around. The infotainment system of the Lotus Eletre seems just one step behind them, I feel. And then you get detailed climate control. It's a dual zone, and this is good. And right over here, I can adjust the airflow. This is cute. This is so cute. Wow. I mean, I like how they invested so much precision right there. And then obviously you get a heated steering wheel, ventilated front seats, and heated front seats. That's good. That's good. Just, I'm still can't get over the navigation. I really want navigation right now. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, can we have navigation, please? This screen is showing live all the cars and people that are moving. Oh my goodness. This is so cool. Now it's time to check out the rear seats of the Lotus Eletre. Okay, so this is where things get quite interesting. Already I noticed a little problem. My feet room doesn't seem very spacious, and that depends on the seating adjustment of the driver and the front seat passenger. Knee room, headroom, there's no flaw there, but just the feet room seems to be a bit of a flaw. And because the seats are a bit too low, it's a bit like that of a Porsche Taycan. It gives me Porsche Taycan vibes, but that's probably because there's some things underneath the floor. I have to keep my knees in this position. I cannot seem to stretch my knees too much. So again, rear seats feel like that of a sports car, basically, or something like a Porsche Panamera, Porsche Taycan, you know, something like that segment. I get a little armrest right here, and it's firm. It's not entirely squidgy at all. But let's see what's in there. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, because I get this shallow storage space right here. But then I get two cup holders right here. That's a pleasant surprise. And there's a little screen down there for your climate control, I believe. Oh, I was right, for your climate control. Oh, this is cute. I think it's for your climate control, or maybe it's for your audio. Okay, right. Passenger seat adjustments, seating adjustments. Okay, right. Now, when it comes to the rear seat, it's on the sporty side, but make no mistakes, the seats are a bit like a bench. All right, and the headrest is very firm, and I get Polestar vibes for some reason. Like sitting on the back seat, it reminds me a bit of my experience in the Polestar 3 and the Polestar 4 a bit. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. I see this interior and I think of Polestar. So here's my conclusion of the Lotus Eletre. Now over to the very big question. For a price of 184,000 euros, and does it have what it takes to humiliate the Volkswagen Group, Stellantis and Tesla? Well, if I'm going to be honest, yes and no. First of all, yes, because this is a new competitor. It's an interesting alternative, and Geely Group is going places. I saw a number of these cars on the road already, so therefore there is promise. But then if I'm being honest, there is also something about this Lotus Eletre that seemed a bit afterthought-ish, if you know what I'm saying. So, like, for instance, why would you want to cover the whole thing in Alcantara, the steering wheel? The big part, the infotainment system. I remain convinced that the Volkswagen Group, BMW and Mercedes have far more interesting infotainment systems that are easy to use, easy to navigate around than this Lotus Eletre. This Lotus Eletre, I think it took me 5 minutes to figure out where the navigation was. And even when we arrived at the navigation page, I could not see the map. Maybe it is my fault, maybe it's me who didn't look properly, but again, there's no reason why accessing certain features should be this difficult. But then again, maybe it's me who didn't know how to use certain features, but I've been around many different new cars, including that of BMW, the Volkswagen Group, and I always found my way around. I always found the navigation because everything was clearly marked. Whereas in this Eletre, at one point using the infotainment system, I was on a white page, and that white page covered all the other controls. Like for some reason I could not find where the menu was because the menu symbols are also in white. So therefore it's like I just couldn't see where things were. I had to just guess. It was a guessing game. I really like the design of this Lotus Eletre. It's got 918 horsepower. This is great. But that's it. I think you're going to love this Lotus Eletre though. It is very nice, very stylish, very sporty, and at the same time, it is electric and good value for money. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. I will see you all next time. And if you all are wondering what is my favorite electric sports car or electric car in this segment of more than 150,000 euros, I have to say Porsche Taycan for days. But the Lotus Eletre is still a promising competitor.